So I've had a few people ask me recently that I've kind of met new people, and it kind of happens every time I meet new people, like, why did you get into bodybuilding? Or why did you go through the transformation that you went through? You know, one of the things that all of us are tasked with in our lives are trying to overcome the issues that we're born with, like the weaknesses and, you know, the mental mindsets that are passed down to us and everything like that. And so a lot of us kind of fail at that, where, you know, we just kind of become meta-humans. We just kind of, you know, try to continue on with what we have learned from our parents, which, you know, a lot of things are good from parents, but then we also get passed down generational trauma and things that really don't work for us, like anxiety, like overworking, or addictions to food, addictions to, you know, who knows what. And in my life, I've tried to overcome a lot of things that I've gotten passed down, but then also just my weaknesses. So I've always tried to like do my best at that. And so when I got to the point in my life where I could actually feel like I could be a bodybuilder, that's when I decided to go for it.
Like starting with cable machine, just get the lats going. I'm gonna do deadlifts today. Yeah, it's been a sec since I got the lower back really good, so that'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, right up your alley.
Yeah. I've been trying to incorporate it because I need to build the glutes up, and so that's a really good thing. And then like just get my lower back as well as my upper back. But I haven't focused on it as much before this year, just because my back's been so developed from powerlifting.
Because like when I was a little kid, I used to draw pictures of bodybuilders, like outlining their muscles and everything, you know. And so I've always had that passion for it, but I never thought that I could do it, just because I had low self-esteem. I was the chubby kid in school. I was bullied. I was, you know, I was never the one that would felt like I could actually do something like that. So when I worked past a lot of that in therapy and, you know, reading books and then changing my mindset, then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna try and become a bodybuilder. And that's where that has all come from, basically just trying to do it. And my wife's asked me about why I am able to take risks and try different things, because with my upbringing, with everything, I should not be that way, right? I should be just like terrified and perfectionist and like trying to make sure everything is perfect, but I never went that way. And I think it was more because I had brothers that were like, my oldest brother was a genius, then my other brother was pretty much a genius as well. And they were like the perfect model of what a son could be, and I was not that. I was always the black sheep, right? And so I think from that point, I just realized like I'm not gonna be the best at everything, but I'm going to try and do these things because, well, when I was a kid, it was trying to find approval from my parents and from the people around me. So I did sports, I did all that, and I, you know, tried really hard and tried to do my best there. And I got into lifting there because I wanted to do good at sports. And so that's where lifting came from. But I was always seeking approval from somebody else instead of myself, right? I was always trying to see if I was valuable or if I had value. And so value and self-esteem doesn't come that way. It comes from inside of you, right? And you can always find somebody that's not gonna value you. You can always find somebody that's gonna treat you shitty or whatever, and that's gonna bring down your value if that's what you focus on. So that's where I come back with like, I was almost like a half a human, just because I was just searching for that value from somebody else instead of just focusing on like what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be and gaining value from that. But as I started to see that trend in my life and see like that was just bringing me, destroying my life, basically trying to make everybody else happy, then I started to see, well, who do I want to be, right? Who do I want to be? Where are my values? So I had to go through years of trying to figure out like what my values are, what my beliefs are, what, you know, who I want to be. And that's where my whole life is now, where I want to be a good father. I want to be a good husband. I want to, you know, show my family that, and then I want to help them be secure through my work and everything like that. But then I also want to be a bodybuilder and, you know, and focus on that because that's fun for me. And so as I've been able to refocus on what I feel is my value, then I've been able to become the human I want to be, right? The man I want to be, essentially. And I'm not saying like anybody needs to be a bodybuilder, but like there has to be a health goal along with like the financial and emotional goals that you have, because how could I be a good father if I was a 400-pound guy on the couch, right? Yeah. And for me, the focus is bodybuilding, just because that's my passion, right? It's always been my passion to be strong, but I also had the passion of building a physique, and so I've figured out how to do that with, you know, help of trainers and coaches and everything. But for somebody else, it could be a passion of rock climbing, hiking, or whatever, or, you know, things like that. But there has to be that health goal, or else I don't think you can fully appreciate the value that, you know, that would bring to your life and feel that success and happiness coming that way. Today is actually the first day I'm going back into the bulk. I got my macros from Zach, and he's pushing it up so that we're at 3,300 on workout days and then 2,600 on off days. Where before I was 2,500 on workout days and then 2,000 on off days. So I did a mini cut for about 2 months. I was at 250 at the peak of the bulk, and then I got down to 225. So that was from October to the end of December. And now I'll do a bulk from now, January, until probably middle or end of March. It just kind of depends on how it goes. And then from there, we'll start prep for the June show, which is the local show here in June, and then nationals in July in Pittsburgh will be the peak of this year. Like the peak goal is to do well there. You know, I just want to have the glutes, you know.
No more pancake butt.
No more pancake butt. Especially because when I'm cutting, it just like comes off the back of my legs and the back, you know. It's just frustrating.
Where you don't see the back shelf to the glute shelf.
Yeah. So we gotta work on them a lot this year. And we'll get it. That. So with these, I'm just trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together, where you can see the trap kind of popping at the top.
It just pushes all the blood up in there. Done. So good.
All right, guys, thanks for following. I've been super pleased to see that we've gotten so many followers lately. Follow, subscribe, and comment. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments about my journey or anything that we've been doing as far as workouts or things like that. I super appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and let's keep going. Let's make 2025 great.